Quality is something that we take very seriously in our company, and it's really interesting. I've been there for a very long time, so I've seen many things in my tenure with the company, and I've seen a lot of different management come in and out of the plant with different plant managers and different supervisors and those kinds of people. And so it's really interesting that you, depending on the philosophy and the direction given to a lot of management in operations, that will have a definite impact on both the quality and the number of instruments that we're getting through the factory. So what we're trying to do today, and I feel really good about the current administration that we have, and the current plant manager and supervisors, is that everyone is really quality minded. And so we know it's not enough just to make fair or good instruments and make a decent amount of them. We have to make a significant more amount of instruments, and they have to all be really good quality. So let me talk about some of the things that happen throughout the process. Remember I said there were about 485 processes that goes into making an instrument. Well, throughout this process, we have a number of quality inspection checkpoints. We have 6 of them at different stages of manufacturing. So first, everything starts with the parts. And when we make a part, every part has to have a print, a blueprint, and a SolidWorks computer model. And so when we're making all the parts, our CNC department, who are machining most of these parts, for example, they have to look at the parts, and then they have to measure every part and then do statistical measurements over a period of a run of time on the parts to make sure that they're holding the right tolerances. Now, tolerance is a word that musicians don't really know about in the way that I'm going to explain it to you. Every part that goes into every dimension and every print, everything we make has a plus or minus tolerance. There's nothing that you can make 100% of the time exactly the same. It's virtually impossible. So you have to make it within a range, a plus or minus range of tolerances. And I'm talking very small. I'm talking about maybe from plus or minus 1 to 2 thousandths of an inch, for example. But those tolerances start to add up, for example. So you can have one part on the plus side, another part on the minus side. They're all within tolerance, but they're all going to be a little bit different. So everything might fit just a little bit different. And so when you think about why instruments play a little bit different, our goal is not to have them play exactly the same. It's impossible to get them to be exactly the same from within a model range from one to another, because of all of the tolerances in all the parts and all of the tolerances within the processes, right? These are all handmade instruments. A lot of people think there's in this year, 2026, there's a lot of automation. There is not. There's no automatic trumpet stamping machine where you throw all the parts in and it stamps out a trumpet. No, they're all made by hand. All the individual parts are all hand soldered together. They're all finished by hand. They're all buffed by hand. So people are quite amazed when they come through and watch the process just how much handwork there is to be done making one of these instruments. And that's true. And that's why you have slight variation in every bit of from one trumpet to another, because it's impossible to make one exactly the same. All right, so that being said, we try to control those tolerances by using prints, and we're measuring everything. And then throughout the process, we have 6 quality control inspection areas. One is at when we have like the fabrication end where we're making valve clusters and we're making bells. We'll come through, those get inspected to make sure they're the right quality, right, before they go on. After they go into the mounting area where they're starting to solder all these parts together, after that they go into an inspection area where they're doing visual inspection, they're doing air testing for leaks, they're doing water testing, but there's a lot of testing that goes on once they're mounted and soldered together in the raw, right? And if they find anything that's not right, They go back to the person who put that particular one together, and they have to do it again or fix it until it meets our quality standard, right? And so at every one of these inspection stations, we have developed a quality inspection standard, which is what is allowable, what is not allowable. And most everything is not allowable if there's any kind of defects. There may be some that are allowable at one stage in the process, because that's going to be taken care of in a later process, right? But we have a set of standards that have been made for everyone. And we are now documenting every one of our processes with something called an SWI, as Standard Work Instruction, so that the operator knows this is what I have to do, step by step by step by step by step. Here's the quality it has to meet. And everything is judged by that, all right? So once they get through those inspection stations, there's another one after buffing. There is another one before it goes into preparation for silver plating or for lacquer. It goes through a really vigorous inspection in that area. And then it goes through plating, it goes through lacquer, and then it comes up through final assembly, and then it's going to go to a play tester that is going to look at everything, play it, look at it from a technical standpoint as well, take measurements on different parts, make sure that things are correct, and then it goes to clean and pack, and they are the final set of eyes on the instrument to make sure that there's no visible defects on it anywhere before it's packed up and put into a box that goes out to our distribution center to go out to customers all over the world. So we've done a lot to really solidify how we look at quality, and I think by most people's account, our quality has been improving. And we continue to strive for that every single day. One of the things we did in the last, well, since 2003, we implemented our own plating department in the factory. So for many, many years, there was a company that was located across the street that did all the plating, all the silver plating, all the copper plating, nickel plating, and gold plating for us. We decided that we wanted to have more control over that. We wanted to control the quality of the plating, the durability of the plating, and we wanted to be able to control that. So we put in a plating department where we do all of our own silver plating in-house, and by everyone's opinion, the plating is clearer, it's brighter, it's stronger, and so we're really happy with the new plating facility that we have. When you get to then what a trumpet player needs, not only does the horn have to look good, it has to look new. There can't be any blemishes on it. There can't be any visible defects on it. But then a trumpet player it's got to function. The slides have to work properly. Everything has to work as a trumpet player needs it to work. And then, of course, it's got to play correctly. It's got to make sure that there's nothing inside of it. There's nothing impeding or blocking airflow. So we check all those before. Now, the slide, this is something we've been working with, and even we're working on that currently today because a lot of the testing can be very subjective. So we're trying to make processes that can take subjectivity, the human element, by me saying that this is okay. We want to be able to have something you can actually measure. And so we are looking at pull force gauges and other kinds of equipment that actually give us data that we can look at to know if something is working properly or not just based on how the playtester's feeling that day, right? So these are things that are ongoing. We're doing in engineering all the time to be able to take the subjectivity out of the testing. But quality is very important. It will continue to be very important, and we continually strive to get better and better with our quality.